Hello, this is Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz, and this is a reading for Cancer, wherever Cancer shows up in your chart. Um, you know, we'll see how this goes. We'll see how this goes. All right, that's a good start. Anyway, I'm actually really struggling with anger this week. So I'm like, where can I channel, and just like transmute energy. Like, I'm not trying to channel any anger into these messages at all. That's thankfully that hasn't even been a thing. But anyway, I don't know. We'll see what the message is, because it's weird that I'm even bringing that up. But before we do get the spread out, I would absolutely love it. I would adore it if you subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. It is, it's like it's an energy exchange, really. Like, that's what it comes down to. And just would love to exchange energy with you. So weird. Okay. So this is a 3-card spread. The first card is your current energy, or the energy surrounding you. The second card is the energy that's leaving, or that is no longer serving you. And I almost said that is no longer surrounding you. So that's kind of interesting. And then the third card is the energy that's coming in, or that will be available to you. So let me just get a couple good shuffles in here. I don't take the jumpers for this spread, so that's why, I put them back in. For Cancer. All right. There we go. Okay. Current energy. We have the Oracle of Pentacles, or the Queen of Pentacles. What's leaving, we have the Four of Wands. What's coming in, the Hanged Man. And to clarify the Queen of Pentacles, we have the Empress. Interesting. To clarify the Four of Wands, we have the Five of Wands. Also interesting. And then to clarify the Hanged Man, we have the High Priestess. And the Hierophant at the bottom of the deck. I might actually I haven't really been like reading the bottom of the deck, but I don't know. It actually kind of feels like that elephant is something that's coming in. So I don't know. We'll see. I may not. I don't know. We'll see, what happens through the reading. Okay. Sorry. Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. Sorry. My mind is over here being ballooned. First of all, while I was shuffling, I was reminded that Mars is in Cancer right now. And I am a Cancer rising. So that is in my first house. So that would make sense. That Martian for I don't want to say that, Martian energy is angry, but I don't, you tell me, how are you? How are you? Since you're, you've got Cancer somewhere, regardless, however, wherever Cancer is in your chart. But, so that's the first thing. Second thing, I'm staring at this image here on the Queen of Pentacles, and I'm like, I know I've seen that before, but there's no way in hell I knew what it actually was, right? So I Googled it, and it's the Venus of Willendorf. Venus figurines dating from the Upper Paleolithic. They're one of the world's oldest art forms. With their voluptuous female figures carved from stone, ivory, horn, or clay. The sculptures have long been thought to have served as fertility totems. New research argues that they played another role, promoting a positive body type that would keep women warmer in order to live through the Ice Age. I mean, you know, I don't think that weight equates whether we're like warm or cold. You know what I mean? Like, leave it to people to be like body positivity. Like, they weren't thinking about that shit back in the Paleolithic days. Hashtag body positivity. Like, they were not thinking about that back then. Anyway, getting out. Okay, so Venus, Venusian. And we have the fucking Empress clarifying that. Venus. That Lady Gaga song just went through my head, Venus. Interesting. Very, 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 okay. Very interesting. Even over here, right, to go from the Four of Wands to the Five of Wands. This, I mean, you know, this is also why I love tarot, because I couldn't have pulled this spread if I tried. And also even just the odds of these cards coming out in this way. Literally a statue of Venus, a Venus figurine with the literal Venus card. This progression over here from the Four of Wands to the Five of Wands. I wanted to see actually what fertility abounds and abundance meets you with ease. This down-to-earth, grounded oracle is a magnet for bountiful harvest. You may be experiencing a flux of material wealth, success, or love, but that doesn't give you permission to overindulge. Discern when to invest, when to spend, and when to be more conservative with your resources. This is also a card of striking a work-life balance. And then, you know, since we're in the book anyway, let's just see what the Empress card has to say for itself. The Empress knows how to feel. Rather than being concerned with how we should feel, we must listen to what our bodies demand. Pairing emotional and physical intuition. Are you listening to what your vessel needs? Feeling is often excruciating. Luxuriate in your vulnerability. Consider how to increase awareness of your physical needs and desires. How might you release the shoulds society has encouraged you to take on? Because the thing is, you were once a wild thing. You have been domesticated. It is time to become feral and reunite with your senses, even through tears. Holy shit. How do you feel about that? It literally feels like this like radical acceptance thing, and also too, like, what's coming through is that if there is less focus on the shoulds, if there's less focus on how bad you perceive yourself looking, or the lack of opportunities or abundance, right? Like, if there's a shift in focus away from that, you know, like almost the things too that like make us fearful, that make us shrink, that make us not do the things that literally in our fucking souls we feel I almost said should be doing. And literally 5 seconds ago I was like, stop shooting yourself. Not to mention too, if we, or I should say, when we don't honor that, you know, the inner calling, our intuition, our feelings, the flow that literally life is trying to get us in, or yeah. I almost started thinking of like a menstrual cycle as far as like flow goes. Even that, right? I mean, there's a process to that is just primal. I mean, your body does it, right? Like there's this like hormonal thing that happens. I mean, literally your body is just doing it anyway. Could you imagine trying to stop your uterus from preparing for a fertilized egg, and then be like, well, didn't happen this month, folks, so we got to shut the walls, right? Like, could you imagine trying to stop that? I just imagine that making somebody very sick. So I think I'm kind of veering too far off, maybe not, whatever, in a weird direction, because I'm literally imagining this in my head like a cartoon. So, okay. Truly though, right? I mean, like there's clearly something here that is trying to gain your focus. It really is like trying to come to the surface so that you can feel it and address it. Right? It's so interesting how fertility abounds, abundance meets you with ease. Discern when to invest, when to spend, and when to be more conservative with your resources. Even with that, right? I mean, like kind of being, not necessarily, being out of control, right? Like living beyond your means, or, it's almost like, stressing yourself out over that too, even if it's not, kind of like a conscious thing, but it really is like being discerning, and to like, along those same lines of discernment, and, it's like discerning if it's a right now thing or a later thing. Like, if it's right now, is it going to cause stress later? Or is it something that could wait? I don't know. That's interesting. The Empress knows how to feel rather than being concerned with how we should feel. We must listen to what our bodies demand. Consider how to increase awareness of your physical needs and desires. I love you have been domesticated. It's time to become feral and reunite with your senses, even through tears. Because that's also, it's like feeling the fear and doing it anyway. It's also interesting because like the Queen of Pentacles is the minor arcana card to the Empress card for me. Because there's like this double whammy of taking care of your star player, taking care of yourself. But out of love, not because of societal things, not consuming because of the shoulds. Like, this really is a time for you to be nurturing yourself, to really be like pouring into your own cup. And also even like, creating something out of your own image. Very interesting. I hope I've done that justice. I've kind of halfway feel like I haven't yet, but I'm going to move on for now. And we'll see if anything else comes up for those two cards. But honestly, I mean, I feel like there is so much power happening here, or there's so much like fertile energy around you. And of course, if you do want to expand your family in some capacity, this is a good omen for that too. It doesn't have to like literally be human reproduction, right? I mean, it definitely can be. So if you are in that, energy of your life, right? I mean, like, this is very positive for that. But if not, then, I mean, truly, whatever it is that you do want to literally birth into existence, if it's not something that either you have experienced or that you've even seen offered to like other people, the energy is available here for you to be that person. And it is like one of those things of like, if you keep trying to like be all up in the way, you're not going to feel good, you know? That definitely feels like it's coming through like really pretty strong. Even just the fact that I'm saying it, because it's not even any indication in either one of these two cards that would be happening, but it keeps being said to me. So I have to say it to you. Get out of the damn way, okay? And before I move on, just to reiterate, this has to come from, like, your motivation has to be love. It cannot be shame. It cannot be anger. Like, you know, I was just talking about in the beginning with me dealing with my little anger. Right? I mean, it's one thing, of course, you know, to feel that, but to have that be the motivation, that's what we don't, you know, we don't want to go down that route. It's one thing if that's like the thing that kind of gets you going, but then, I mean, you've got to come from it, or yeah, come from, or what? You have to come from a place of love. This has to be something that you love. And honestly, you have to love yourself, because it's kind of like one of those things where birthing this thing, creating this thing is literally an act of self-love. Whatever it is, a channel on YouTube, it, you know, conversation, a job, you know, a relationship, if that's what you're looking for. You know, again, even expanding your family, right? Like, you know, if you're coming from a place of anything other than love, it's either going to, you know, it's possible that it could be delayed or just not as enjoyable, really. Shit. So then the energy that's leaving is the Four of Wands and the Five of Wands. Like I said, you know, it's interesting anytime there is like a direct progression, especially in the same position. I love that, because that also, you know, it means that we're moving through energy. And it's honestly a little kind of funny that the Four of Wands, like, this feels like literally leaving your comfort zone. I mean, truly, like you really are going to have to fight those demons that get in the way. The shoulds, right? Like the you know, Brene Brown calls them gremlins, right? It's like those shame stories, the ego, like whatever it is. This really does feel like having to like overcome yourself. I mean, there are, you know, 5 dogs on this card. There are usually like other people involved, and it could just be, I mean, there could be other people involved. But I think it's more so not focusing on what you think other people's reactions would be, or what other people would say, or how other people would perceive. It's like one of those things of like, you don't post on social media for the people that you know. Block them all. Block your besties, right? Like, if you have any concern about the way that you are going to be perceived by anybody in your circle, block them. Don't even tell them about it. It's not for them. Really. I'm sure, because if it was, I'm sure you would have had the conversation with them in some capacity already. You would just go to them. You wouldn't post, you know. I'm using social media as an example. because honestly, it just kind of came out of my mouth. But, you know, because like, so it really is like going past your own glass ceiling, like literally the ceiling that you've built for yourself. It's comfortable there. You know where it is, right? You know the limits, you know the boundaries. You've created it. Right? So it really is like having to go past that. And you know, it's interesting because in this card, right, there's these two Bostons. Is that what they're called? Boston? What is there a longer name for that type of dog? It's escaping me if there is. You know, and it looks like there's two retrievers here and then there's this one dog. This feels like it looks like a mirror to me, right? And again, like to me it feels like fighting yourself. And then there's this one over here that's like trying to like insert themselves in some capacity. So again, you know, it's just like it's like either blocking yourself from going further than what is comfortable. It's, you know, somehow making yourself believe that you don't have enough information or you don't know what steps to take or that type of thing, right? And what's coming in or will be available is the Hanged Man and the High Priestess. The Hanged Man says, you've come a long way and now strategy needs to shift. Look out from your new vantage point. What's revealing itself to you? Consider this, and then flip the world upside down to examine everything with fresh eyes. While you might feel stuck, don't fight it. Don't forget your wisdom. And that the point is to finally release control. Picture yourself hanging upside down from a tree like a child swinging from strong legs. The space you're in isn't one to fear. Revel in it. Allow the world to pass you by as you look from one place of power. What? Allow the world to pass you by as you look on from a place of power. You're safe here. And of course, since we're here, the High Priestess says she is a maiden, mother, and crone combined. The High Priestess shows that her place in the universe is one of unique divinity. When she shows up, she's telling you to pay attention to your subconscious. What can you see in the light of the moon? What secrets do you hold inside? How holy are the waters of your wisdom? Spend time basking in your unique knowledge and experience. Use this magic by connecting with your community, perhaps as a peer, mentor, poet, or even some kind of modern day village witch. I also love that this is a card of Cancer because the High Priestess is associated to the moon. The Hanged Man is Neptune. And at some point, I know the moon was in Aquarius not that long ago. So it's possible that around this time, because I'm posting this on the 24th, right? No, the 23rd. Whenever I'm posting this, it is likely that the moon is around Neptune in Pisces. So, just just timing, the timing of things, right? Like the timing of all of this, the fact that this has been on your mind in some capacity or that you've felt it more so than, of course it being in your mind, but literally being asked to leave your comfort zone in some capacity. Being asked to, sit in a space that feels uncomfortable. Even if that's all that you're doing. You've left this, it may feel uncomfortable. But also, just getting different insight, looking at it differently, seeing your options differently, recognizing that you are different than when you set these boundaries and you built that glass ceiling. You're different now. You're not the same person you were when you built that shit. It really is like really honing into your like soul, dude. Like that feel, I don't know, like it feels a bit like dramatic or like over the top or something, but I don't think so. I think it really is like this call of, because truly there's no other way that this will work. I also think that you know that. And if there's, if you can release this fear, or, release the I don't want to use the word boundaries again, the conditions that you've set up for yourself, like the story surrounding the thing, right? Like it's not the right time or whatever other lie, we tell ourselves. There really is the energy here for things to shift in a way that is very like prosperous for you. Okay, I'm going to leave it there because this is longer than, and we have, the Hierophant at the bottom of the deck also. It really does. Every time I have looked at this card, I'm like, something is coming in because it knows that you need the time, you need to get on board, or it's like it is on its way though. And it is something big. When you think elephants, you think these massive creatures, Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to go on this journey with you. I will talk to you soon. Bye.